Getting started, just flipping the screen upside down, right side up. Okay, let's see, is this good enough? Hopefully that's good. Sorry about the slow setup, y'all, but as you know, my setup got hacked or something, so I have to flip it as I start my stream so that it's not upside down for you, but for me it's upside down. Also means that I cannot read your comments because not only are they tiny and really far away, but it's also upside down. And it was already hard enough for me to try and read them when when it was right side up and that far away, so I'm not even gonna even try, unfortunately. Maybe in the future I'll pull my laptop out and start streaming on that so I can see the text a little better, but I like using my phone to record because it's just easier to set it up and pull it down and not have to worry about like cords and all that stuff. So with that being said, today is Mobility Monday. I have a couple of things that I want to talk about in regards to general health in my own life. Some things that's going on with me that I think is good to note for public record, for safety, for documentation in general, but also because, like I always say on my channel, I like to make sure that I'm being open and clear when I am providing my philosophies, so that if people are truly following me, they're not like, well, how come XYZ isn't happening, or da 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 da. And it's because I'm like doing like 50 different things off the camera and not talking about them or something like that. So I do want to, clue you guys in on what's been going on with me. I've been talking about my sleep schedule a lot because that's something that is impacting my health as far as just my routines are concerned. I'm getting plenty of sleep, and I'm grateful that I do have the freedom to sleep whenever I want, so that's fine, but it's not regular enough for me, and I talked about this yesterday, making a routine. I did start that today. Technically I started it yesterday, but I'm on it today. I will talk about what happened with why things are off today, but first I'm going to do a quick warm-up. I do this now for 5 minutes at the beginning of each stream. One, because I don't have any leg workouts. I always say I'm gonna do a leg workout day. I'm gonna add a leg day for streaming, but that's adding an entire extra day for streaming. And I shouldn't complain because, like I just got finished saying, my schedule is very open. But again, with routines and everything, it's just, I feel bad saying I'm gonna do something or be on at a certain time and then I'm not. So I'd rather not say I'm gonna add a 4th day if I don't think I'm gonna be able to consistently make a time for that 4th day. And because my routines aren't really set right now, I feel like it wouldn't be a good idea for me to add in a 4th day, because I would probably just end up missing it. And that's not to be pessimistic, but just reality. I have been actually doing bonus days every now and then, which I think it's been Saturdays or days when I feel like I want to get a good stretch in, and I'm like, well, I might as well stream it. But to be fair, when I do feel like stretching, like wholeheartedly, I'm sitting in a position for like 30 minutes. So it's not the most entertaining thing, because then I'm just sitting here talking to you. And though I hope you enjoy my dialogue, I know that I'm listed under health and fitness, and I'm talking about health and fitness, so I want to try and focus. Anyway, you see I'm all cooped out today. It was actually not planned, but then after I put it on, I was like, oh my gosh, I was talking about clay yesterday, and now I have all my kook stuff. That was funny. But honestly, I just really wanted to wear these sweatpants because they were the first ones on the top of my sweatpants box, and I wanted to put on sweatpants so that I can move freely and not have to worry about my clothes being too tight, because now that the weather is warming up a little bit, I am getting, I wouldn't say like, I don't get hot flashes or anything like that, but I have like, my body temperature is definitely trying to like recenter around the temperature change. It's gotten like 10 to 15 degrees warmer here since I moved in, on average. So my body temperature is just kind of like, okay, it's kind of hot, or, you know, whatever. So when my clothes are looser, but still covering me, it feels not as hot, if that makes sense. It's not quite warm enough to just walk around in shorts, although I do. It's not the most comfortable thing, because I do get cold more than I get hot on average. But yeah, I'm talking and doing this. I feel like normally I'm just listening to music, or maybe I'm not. I don't know. But I only have, what is this? I have about 1 more minute of this. It goes by faster when I'm talking for sure, but it's harder to breathe because I'm trying to like talk, obviously. I don't know. I guess people can do it, and I probably just don't have the best endurance. Which is also something I should be spending my gym membership on. I have not been to the gym in a month. I haven't been to the gym since I went to the gym and did all my swimming and sauna stuff like 3 days, and then I didn't go back because I got paranoid that people were gonna follow me to the gym because I said I was going to the gym, and I still have weird stalkers. Which is actually what I titled my stream today. I gotta watch my body, because I'm not just anybody. And you know, if you're familiar with Aaliyah, she was a singer in the 90s that was a child bride to R. Kelly. That just kind of got swept under the rug. And then I guess Beyonce wasn't doing as well as Aaliyah, and Jay-Z really wanted to promote her, and all of a sudden Aaliyah died. You know, we won't get into conspiracies, but facts are facts. Yeah, let me take that over here. Let me stretch out. Let me actually stretch my muscles real quick. Yeah, so basically, that song, that verse for me, it kind of makes me think of how it is important to be aware of your surroundings, right? And I've been talking about, you know, my life and what's been going on with me more in depth. More in depth since, you know, things got really like tense in my family life, in my home life that I had. But yeah, so basically, I took my medication last night. You know, like I said, I'm trying to be on my routine, and I want to make sure that I'm actually the exact time. Maybe not exact, but you know, like 8 o'clock. You do it by like 8:10, right? So like specific checkpoints. I won't tell you what they all are because it's not necessary. But like I said, I make a list of the things that I want to accomplish, that I need to do every day, or that I'd like to do every day, and then I figure out a time slot to get something like that done. For example, I have wellness every single day, even if I'm not streaming. So when I'm streaming, wellness is taken care of. But when it's not, it's at a specific time. So no matter what, I have to do something wellness related, and that's physical, like physically moving or something. But yeah, that's just an example. So my medication, I've set a new time for my medication so that I know for a fact every time I take my medication, and it takes 2 hours or 3 hours to like actually work, or like I fall asleep or whatever, because sometimes it's iffy, although usually it's like within 30 minutes, that I'll be able to just sleep in and still be up, you know, before 10 or 11. And So I did that last night, and I had to actually push myself because once again, I have that natural inkling to want to stay awake, even though I know I need sleep and I know I should be tired, right? So I was like, no, I'm gonna take my medication. Like, I'm not gonna just write it out because again, I live with myself and I have free time. So I'm like, normally I'd just be like, oh, I'll fall asleep when I feel like it. Like, no, I'm gonna make myself go to sleep at a certain time. So I took my medication, and I kid you not, I have not slept. And if you can tell by my energy level, this is not a good thing. So I'm saying this on camera because in the past, when I've complained about things like being sexually assaulted in the hospital, having woken up in a pool of my own vaginal blood, all of these things, somehow I become the problem. And this is, I'm just specifically speaking to like medical professionals, like my immediate family and the police, right? Because it's like you can literally call out these crimes, you can call out these things that are like definitely a big deal, definitely something wrong here. But people are just like, no. Because we know you have this diagnosis, nothing you say is ever going to be valid or believed, right? Which is, again, quite fucked up, right? Like if somebody's telling you these things and all this stuff and you're just like, no, you're lying, like that's very fucked up. And again, this is really sad but true. And so the last time I was hospitalized, and I've spoken about this enough for those of you that have watched my channel, this is gonna be like repeat roadkill, right? Basically, I was at home and I had just like, very not normal energy that was not mine, energy that was like a lot of it, and I didn't feel good. Like I felt like I was in danger, and I specifically felt like somebody was going to try and kill me. And I called the police because I trust myself enough to at least make that call, right? Like even if I'm crazy, right? Oh, I'm crazy. I don't care. I'd rather say something and be crazy and be wrong than not say something and be right and be dead, right? So I called the police and I told them, I'm like, hey, like I feel like I'm in danger, blah, blah, blah. Like this is what you're supposed to do, right? If you have a medical issue, you let the authorities know, you let the medical professionals know so they can be aware of the situation, right? They actually said that they couldn't send anyone and that they were too busy. They sent me a couple of text messages. I ended up staying up the whole night because I couldn't sleep. I had like all of this energy, and at the time I'm thinking like, okay, I'm going through like an ascension symptom because now that I have the verbiage and the education with my master's degree where I specifically studied these things because they're things that I go through, I'm learning how to go through them and like what I need to do and like how to track it and all that stuff, right? So I'm like up, it's like probably like at least 9 a.m. by this point. My cousin who calls me as I'm literally finally falling asleep, calls me. He never calls me, so I just figured, he was in the neighborhood and I didn't want to be rude and be like, no, I'm sleeping. So I literally get up out of my fucking sleep, like I was fucking finally sleeping, to let him in and be cordial, right? Just for him to actually have the police at the door to take me to the hospital. Because no, they don't want to come if I say I feel like I'm in danger or if something, might be putting me in a compromising situation, but they will come if somebody else complains about me over the phone. For no crimes committed, no disturbances, no being out in public or yelling or causing violence, no online anything, right? Like me in my home being pulled out of my house by my own fucking cousin, right? And so when I get to the hospital, I got hit with a needle in my arm. They didn't ask me for permission. They didn't tell me what it was, and they still get through my clothing, which is not normal, right? Also, because I was completely calm, there was no reason for them to go, we're gonna just hit you with a needle. Like they literally, like that's apparently illegal, right? But when you have a diagnosis, you can do whatever. It's fucking, something's very wrong. So I was like, what is that? What is that? They literally ignore me. I don't have rights now, right? I'm not a human anymore. So I get to the hospital. When I tell you I am damn near 40 years old and I know what my period is like, I know how long it takes me to be bleeding a certain amount of blood after a certain amount of time. I was sitting in a pile of my own fucking blood, like drenched. That's at least, I'm not even like, I try to like give myself a window and be like, maybe it was a couple hours. It's gotta be like 10 hours minimum.
minimum, right? And I mean, if you go to the emergency room, you know how it is. Like, you can be in the emergency room for a long time. And obviously they shot me with something because I passed out. So I have no idea how long I was there. It could have been, like I said, I could have been there for 10 hours. It could have been 2 days. I have no span of time because I have no option to speak with anyone. I have no clock. I have no ability to have, I'm not a human at this point, right? I'm literally just whatever the fuck they want me to be. And so this is when they do their whole, like, we're going to go to the judge, and the judge is going to determine if you are stable enough to be released, or if you're mentally unstable and you have to go to the hospital and stay in the hospital. Now, mind you, they drugged me. I have no ability to speak for myself. I have no ability to even, function as far as I know. For all I know, I was literally knocked out for days, right? And this is how they do their assessment on you to determine if now you're going to be enslaved for however long they say on whatever drugs they want you to be on, while you're being threatened and attacked by people that are literally on drugs and dangerous because you were in your room sleeping and you decided to let your fucking cousin in your house, right? So this is what happened to me. And this is unfortunately not the first time that a scenario like this happens. The first time that I've been pulled out of my house in my sleep, but at this point, like, the things that have happened to me leading up to this point were as bad, honestly. Like, I had my own dad come into my house, attack me, then call the police on me, say that I attacked him in my house where he does not live and did not need to come, and have me taken out of my house for violence. So now I'm a criminal because this old fucking loser decided to come into my house and tell me about shit he literally doesn't study. Okay, right? So I am in the hospital. Everything is just, sucks. I have no control. There's nothing I can do. And I'm now having to listen to people that refuse to do any research. And so I was in the hospital, coming out of the hospital, and it was like 2 weeks or some shit like that, because it's literally fucking jail. And you have no rights. You can't use a phone, nothing. And the food shit, like I said, people are dangerous. There's no recovery in a place like this. It's like somebody literally being like a rape victim, and they're like, okay, well, we know you were a victim of rape, and we know that this is really hard for you, so we're gonna put you in a room full of rapists so that you can get over your fear. Like, that's literally the equivalent of being in one of those hospitals. Like, something's wrong with you, you feel like you're in danger, and you don't trust anybody, so we're gonna strip you of everything, leave you bleeding naked, take your fucking pants off, so you have no fucking pants, no fucking underwear, none of this is fucking normal. None of this is fucking normal, right? If you are a caring human, you might think that. I certainly would feel that way if it was my kid. But yeah. So, I come home and I get a letter in the mail like a week or two later, and it literally comes back saying that I had stimulants in my body, and it said that I had an unknown amount of stimulants in my body, or it said it was an unknown stimulant. So not only are there stimulants in my body that aren't supposed to be in my body, but it's not even a detected one. Like, so it's not Adderall, it's not cocaine, it's not, ecstasy or whatever the fuck, I don't know what the fuck, right? Like, how the hell do I have amphetamines in my system that you can't even identify? Where would they have come from? Where, So I'm thinking to myself, it must have been that needle, right? It was a needle. I know they shot me with a needle. They didn't do it in a professional way. They didn't do it the way they were supposed to. They didn't tell me what it was. They refused to answer my questions, even though I was being perfectly logical and within my rights to ask questions, because again, they did not have permission to do any of that. Yeah, I just assumed it was a needle. But since I moved here into my new flat, I didn't take my medication for like a month because I was paranoid. I was like, no, I don't know what it was. My little brother had messed with my medication and everything that happened. I was like, I literally can't trust anybody because I can't even be safe in my own fucking house while I'm sleeping. Like, if you can't be safe in your house while you're sleeping, when you live by yourself, then where else can you go in the world, right? So yeah, I didn't take my medication for like a month. Got new medication from my doctor because I was like, it might be my pills. I don't know. I don't trust him. So she sends me new pills. I start the medication after I move in. So it was like literally a full month of no medication while moving, which is literally one of the hardest things a human does in their life, no matter if it's a few blocks or a few countries away, right? And so I'm thinking, take my medication, everything's gonna be fine. There have been maybe 4 or 5 times where I took the medication and instead of feeling sleepy, which is okay, right? I don't have to feel sleepy right away. But it is medication that has been known to make me drop. Like I said, sometimes within 30 minutes, sometimes I don't even know how long it was because that's how fast I fall asleep. So if it takes a little longer, I'm like, okay, it's a little off, I might just have a little extra energy. But there's, like I said, been a few times now since I moved in, the same medication bottles that I have, where it literally feels like I'm taking an amphetamine. And I know this because I've taken amphetamines in my life, right? I've had these in my system, so I identify the feeling. This is not coffee, this is not Adderall. I mean, no, it's not Adderall. Like I said, when you have certain things in your body, you know what they feel like, right? You know what it feels like to be drunk. I know what it feels like to have a stimulant in my body. So I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is going on? Is it my medication? Like, cause there's no way I would go from being a little tired to taking a medication and being fucking wired. There's no way. I would have at least been the same, but to be awake and then to be alert, and like I said, right now I haven't slept since like now 24 hours, and I don't feel tired at all. So I'm at the point now where, and I know I told you guys, like as paranoid as I sound, I have factual evidence, data, information, screenshots, all of that to show that my paranoia, my theories, my facts are facts. They're real, and it's not, oh, delusion, someone's acting. You're like, no, I'm pretty sure all of these things are documented and you have evidence of it, and you're just telling me that I'm crazy because that sounds better to you. That's easier for you to manage in your fucking head, right? So yeah, basically worried that my medication could have been tampered with in my home, which honestly, I don't think anybody's been in here, but it's a fucking apartment, right? So like, I don't even have the ability to say, oh, no maintenance people can come in, right? Like, they give me 24 hours notice, and it is what it is. If I'm not here, the whole building has people in it. Like, I won't know, right? Which is different from living in a house where it's like there's nobody coming in and out, but they do all know, or I should have known, right? Someone takes your shit, literally steals your Ring camera, and breaks into your fucking balcony door off of your bedroom. Like, what the fuck? This shit really happened, right? So I'm worried because, one, obviously something's up with the medication for it to suddenly do that, but it's not all of the pills, so I have no idea how to tell. Like, is it just some of the pills? Did somebody sprinkle something? Or, right, did it come directly from the person that's been doing my medication? Because I think I told you guys in a stream before, like, I was getting my medication from a pharmacy, a local pharmacy, and they ended up getting purchased by Walgreens, which I don't give a fuck, right? But when they employed new people to work at this same pharmacy, and the very first time I interacted with the new pharmacist, she tried to treat me like a child. Like, she was like, oh, well, I need you to do, she's like, well, did you do this? Did you do, I'm like, bitch, I don't know who you think you are, but you are registered. Like, you have no voice. You have no say. You have no authority. Like, your job is to sign your name and make sure that the pills match the fucking bottle. Like, you don't have a voice, right? So the fact that you think that you can now try and, like, grill me and shit, like, you literally have no authority whatsoever. And so I was just like, nope. The way she came at me, the fact that she didn't know me, all of it, it just made me really uncomfortable. Because I was like, well, this person's too in my business to even be talking to me like that. Like, it's the way that she interacted with me was like she kind of like she fucking knew me or some shit. I'm like, no, I already don't trust you, bitch. Like, knowing the networks and the societies and all that shit that I have to deal with just to exist, I don't trust that the next bitch isn't a part of that shit or some loser that's gonna take $50 to be a fucking cunt, right? So yeah, I just started getting it online, and now, again, because it's coming from the mail, I still don't really know. So my next plan is, if this happens again, which I'm pretty sure it will, I'm just going to go straight to get blood work to find out if there's any stimulants in my body, because, I mean, I could go right now, but I had to stream. I'm not going to go after the stream, and I didn't want to get caught up and not be able to stream, but like I said, I have something in my system. It will be in my blood system for like 24 hours, so I'll be able to go and be like, yo, can you just tell me if there's anything in my So that way I can at least narrow it down and be like, okay, is it the pills? You know, because again, this is not like if you're just tracking your own sleep schedule, you know your own body, these are things that you follow because you're paying attention to yourself, which you should be doing. Your body will give you notifications and you can identify them the more you pay attention. So like I said, I know that what's gone on in the last 24 hours. When I took my medication, how I feel now, that was not the medication that is in the bottle. It's supposed to be in the bottle. That's all I'm going to say. But I also don't really trust my psychiatrist because, unfortunately, when I was still under the impression that my dad was a liar for good and not a liar for evil, I thought he was, trying to help me and just stupid and not actually working against me for his own fucking advantages. Which is fucking sad, bro. Like, you had your time and you didn't figure it out, so now you want to take it from me? Like, what the fuck, dude? Loser. And I promise you I would have never married you. You're like the epitome of what I would never want to marry, bro. Literally warn people about people like you. Disgusting. Human father of existence. Period. But, like I said, here I am trying to figure out because I told my psychiatrist that she could speak with my father, that she actually did. And when I asked her, because I told her, obviously what happened with the stimulants and how I had to get a restraining order against my dad and all that, and she said she had not spoken with my father, right? But when I was moving out of my townhouse, she specifically said something, like the way she talks to me and asks me questions, her focus is always on something that is so insignificant and not related to me or my health in any way that it is a red flag. And it's not just a red flag, it's like a red flag and also, why would you say that? What's that connected to? So there was a point where I was having a conversation with her, obviously about moving, everything that's going on. Like, I was literally going through hell of fucked up shit that most people don't ever have to experience. And she said something about how my parents were going to have to paint the walls back. Why do you even give a fuck about anything that my parents are doing? And why do you care about painting the fucking walls, bitch? You're supposed to be my psychiatrist and you just made a comment about my parents needing to repaint their walls. So now I'm rethinking your certification and whether or not you can hear me at all. Because I've been giving you my research that you clearly need to help people in my situation because you don't know this yet. And you're talking about repainting the fucking walls in a townhouse I'm moving out of because I was ripped out of my fucking sleep. Can you hear yourself? Right? So, and again, there's professionals, right? People get in these fields, they learn certain things. We all go to school. We all know what school is. It's indoctrination. They teach you certain things they want you to learn, and some people are stupid enough to think that's it. But you're smart enough to recognize that you're in a system that you can expand. You might learn more. You might discover things. You might come up with something that makes money and helps people out of these situations, right? So I'm giving her my research, telling her about Carl Jung, all the stuff I'm doing, because I have a fucking master's in this shit because I'm living it, right? And again, she's talking to me about painting the fucking walls. So I don't trust her because I don't think she takes me seriously. She's obviously not interested in learning more. And again, this is someone who has heard me talk about the things that have not only been proven to be fact, but then have also been proven in other situations. And again, I don't talk about everything on camera and stuff because I know I sound crazy. But when I tell you these things happen, and the Clay Thompson thing, for example, and then it happens, so I'm like, see, I fucking told you. It's shit like that, but it's very specific and very what the fuck. She knows these things. So for her to still be oh, I think it's the medication, you can't hear me, you can't see me, you can't think straight, you're not smart enough for this job. For me. You might be smart enough for someone that can just handle medication and just wants to be in like a fucking slumber for the rest of their life. But some of us actually have like goals and things that we're accomplishing with our intentions if you paid the fuck attention. Again, there's certain people, they either don't want to learn, they don't care, but like with the Epstein files being released, unfortunately, we're treating that like the new Bible. Like, it's factual information. We know these things now. Stop. Stop. Go back out there, baby. She's like, you're not moving enough. I'm not moving enough. I don't want to sweat though when I'm already sweating because of how much sweat. But yeah, so I'm like, I want to be able to say to her, like, hey, this is what's going on with my medication. This happened, you know, and be able to trust that she will believe me, one, and two, actually take it serious and not be like, oh, I think something's wrong. Because she was also like, oh, I want to change your medication. I was like, why the fuck? And again, this is someone who's a professional. I shouldn't have to tell you this. I just fucking moved. I moved, like, at this point, it hadn't even been a month yet. And she's like, I want to switch your medication. You don't fucking do that. You don't fucking change someone's medication when they're going through something crazy. You wait until they're in a stable place so you can actually see how that medication impacts. If you are doing all these crazy things, you have all this stuff going on, and you're taking new medication on top of that, you have no way of knowing what the fuck is causing whatever might be happening, if you're having an adverse effect, whatever the fuck, right? You just don't know. This is common sense and also medical practice. So the fact that she would suggest that also made me very uncomfortable with her. And you guys know, this situation is not easy because intricate systems of societies and people that are trying to maintain power, gain power, get money, merit, whatever the fuck, they work with people in all systems. That's how they succeed, is they have people in every area, right? And if they don't have somebody, they'll try and infiltrate, right? They try and blackmail people, get someone in a compromising situation, so they can be like, oh, well, you know, I know you did this, so now you gotta do this for me, or I'm gonna say something, you know. Or worse, they'll act like they're your friend and they got your back, but really they're just like tracking everything you do so they can use it against you later, Epstein, right? People don't understand blackmail because they think they're enjoying it, but they're just setting themselves up around people that have already revealed themselves to you as a snake, fucking venomous snake, right? Not the good kind of snake, the bad kinds of snakes. So yeah, again, I would love to be able to say like, oh, like let me just, you know, chalk it up to the fact that, you know, I have a medical condition. Like, no, these are things I've tracked. Like I said, it's been more than once. Logically doesn't make sense. Chemically doesn't make sense. Again, so I would love to be able to trust my psychiatrist, the medication that I have been getting sent to me, but it's not exactly performing the way it's supposed to. In fact, the opposite. And because of what happens to me, as far as being like overstimulated and then people trying to use that as an excuse to commit crimes against me, there's no fucking way in hell I'm gonna allow someone to slip me stimulants so that I can look like I'm having a fucking meltdown, or not even a meltdown, because that would imply that I'm negative, which I'm not. If I'm around someone that I've been wanting to drag for 3 decades, bitch, I'll drag you, because I would have dragged you anyway. Don't come into my fucking space. It doesn't mean I'm dangerous. It means I don't fucking like you. Period. Right? And you're just mad because when I'm mad, I tell the truth. And that's why you won't say anything back to me about what I said, because the moment you tell the truth, you're roasting yourself again with the truth. Period. But yeah, so, I don't know, y'all. This life. And the thing is like, I don't want to be that person who's like, I don't even need medication, because again, I'm not anti-medication. I recognize that there are a lot of things going on that I don't fully understand and that I clearly can't control all the time. But it should be pretty fucking logical and apparent at this point in my life, in this timeline, that going and being put in a hospital to be sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, fucking jailed up and like literally jailed up, that's not helping. None of that is helping. Like, why would you think that's helpful? Use your fucking brain. Maybe, again, for people that cannot control themselves and do things, that's never ever been the case. I've only ever been kidnapped and taken against my will for crimes never committed. for accusations against people that have been known haters in my life since my life started, pretty much, right? Like, I'm sorry my existence makes you feel inadequate. I promise you, I am not trying. I stopped trying in fucking high school. I really did. Like, I really stopped trying in high school. So I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is, y'all. I feel, like I said, I just need to make these some common knowledge things. I'm not moving enough. I'm not moving enough because I'm just talking. I'm like trying to work through this because again, like I said, I'm like sitting in my room thinking, why the fuck do I feel more awake now than I did at 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday? I feel more awake right now than I did at this time yesterday, or even while I was streaming yesterday. So someone, again, that doesn't like me and that wants to set me up because they benefit from me looking bad would easily try and use that against me to say, oh, you're not regulated, something's wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then again, worse, if I do end up in a situation where I have to go to the hospital, then they'll try and tell me I'm a drug addict and that I'm using drugs and that I'm lying about my drug sources and all this other shit, right? So, the truth is out there, y'all. You just have to actually accept it. You know, people like to live in their own little lies. And there's still so many people out there that even after reading that Epstein files or seeing some of what was inside of it, they're gonna be in denial for the rest of their lives because they mentally cannot accept the fact that humans have more capabilities than they thought. And that's crazy because if I found out that I could get abilities, I'm not gonna then be like, that's impossible, you're crazy. I'm gonna be like, fuck, let me figure out how to do that. Let me get on the fucking bandwagon. I don't wanna be the last person to find out everybody can read my goddamn mind. Cause that shit's real. That shit's real. And again, you don't wanna be the last one to find out that everybody's having a conversation without you while you're sitting right there. Spider. But yeah. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, just trying to move. I am actually sweaty right now, which is, I'm mad because I showered right before I streamed. I don't like to shower before stream, but I feel like I can't stream without showering because it's like my thing that I'm getting ready for the day. So I feel weird when I get on stream and I haven't like showered. I know it's weird because like I'm not even in person, but it's like when you get ready for work and you don't brush your teeth. Like, I don't know how people can go about their day. It's just like, oh no. So, but I'm hot. I'm gonna take it off. Don't laugh at my top. I wasn't planning on showing. Anyway, okay. Am I doing this okay? I feel like I did these already, but it never hurts to do them again. Anyway, then the next thing that's been going on is the bandwagon of people that are realizing that they get a lot more talking time with people by throwing me under the bus. Like, I have these random people that I don't know, right? Like, you know, like I said, you meet people, so you add them on Instagram, so you can learn about them. So I have these people on my Instagram, but I don't actually know them. But they're like mentally in high school, but I don't think they're aware, right? And I don't mean that in like a rude way, I mean that in like a frontal lobe way. Just arrested development that at this point I don't think is ever gonna happen. And again, I don't mean that in a rude way. Like, everybody has like a different mindset, and the high school mindset is that of someone who is still in the competitive mindset of like they see other people as like they're opportunists basically. And when you grow up in a situation, I was fortunate enough to be, I wouldn't say popular because I don't like that word, but I was class president, I was a cheerleader, all this stuff, so people just knew me even if I didn't know them. And I tried to get to know everybody. I knew everybody in my class at least, but not all the other classes, grade levels. I forget what I was saying. I forget what I was saying now. Okay, standing. I want to do something, but what? My brain is going. Trying to move and talk with no muscle memory is not exactly working out for me right now. And my shirt says send nudes, by the way. We're wondering. I never get any good nudes, to be fair. You know who you are. And that is a call out. But yeah. I don't know. Shit, man. I forgot what I was saying, and now I feel weird to just try and switch the subject up, but it must not have been that important. Nothing I'm saying ever really is, unless it's specifically in the title. Usually the title gives you a good indicator of what I'm gonna be talking about. These are good for your obliques, by the way. Anybody that wants to get those side abs, I'm only saying because I have them from time to time, and I know what makes them pop. Again, it's one of those things that once you have it, it's easier to identify. When you're taking notes from people that don't have what you're looking for, they're really just going off of theory, which again, not always wrong, right? If you know anatomy, you can go, okay, do this exercise, it'll work these muscles, but some exercises target better than others. And this, even though it looks really easy, and I tell you this shit will be like, you. Like, I'll be like, probably not, but you know, if I wanted to, if I gave a fuck. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. So like the high school, right, mentality and like that whole thing. Like, because I was class president for 2 years in a row, my junior year and my senior year, like it was literally my job to help everybody like enjoy their experience a little more, like in my specific class, whether that was like planning dances or, you know, assemblies, whatever. Like I had to know enough people, which like I said, I took pride in knowing everyone's name in my class, but I had to know enough people to know what people would like to enjoy it. And again, like a lot of people, I think they think, oh, people do these things for popularity. Like no, one, it's actual work. People don't, at least I hope you wouldn't sign up for something and then not do your job, right? And you gotta actually know what you're doing or enjoy what you're doing so you can get good at it. But it's also, it's like a responsibility, right? Like it's like you're throwing a birthday party and everybody hates it. What's the point? So that's how I felt about, you know, planning like homecomings and proms and stuff like that. I didn't think of it as like a popularity thing. I thought of it as like, this is how I like help everybody enjoy themselves, and like if they're having a good time, I'm having a good time, and like everything's gonna be good or whatever. But I had to pay attention to like who was like talking to who and stuff. So I was always like, I won't say I was the mediator, but I was always very aware of like everybody's sort of dynamic as much as I could be, because my school had academies, so you're like broken into even smaller groups, which kind of stuff. But they were just people that were always, you know, competing with one another over something really dumb, like a guy. And it would always be like a girl wanted to be with a guy, and the guy wanted to be with both the girls, but was telling both of them that they only wanted the other. So the girls were fighting each other while the guy's like, ha ha ha, I got girls fighting over me. And I'm just looking at them like, he's not even cute. Like, what are you know, they're all sprung over this guy or whatever. You know, it's like you kind of learn through observing people, if you pay attention to anyone other than yourself, how people interact. And there's just this mentality in high school of like scarcity, where it's like the one guy is the only guy. It's like, bitch, we are just in school until 3 p.m. You know, but you know, to each their own. So it's just kind of like you watch people and you see these things, and it's like the mindset, and that people call it like crabs in a bucket and crabs in a barrel or whatever. And it really is like, it's so sad. it's fucking sad. Like, and I don't like, I'm not a PE teacher or anything, but this is why team sports are important. Because people are they want the money shot so bad. They want to be the person that got like the game-winning buzzer shot, that they forget that shot won't mean shit if you're down by 50 points, right? The rest of the game matters. It's like everybody else is focusing on their self and their one goal, to the point where they're literally destroying everything else around them, not recognizing that everybody can see them, so not everybody knows how they are. This is like Meg the Stallion. I feel like I'm talking about. Everybody can see how they are, and so now they want to be seen in a different light after everybody just watched everything they did, or at least me, right? I mean, I just watched everything they did. Like, you are not the type of person I want to be around, And again, I was actually very friendly. I don't think there were any people in my grade that I didn't want to be around. There were bitches in some other grades. Unfortunately, the older girls didn't like me, but what's new? Yeah. So that was just, again, those learning experiences where you just pay attention to the way people's brains work. And again, as you get older, I feel like that phases out and people start recognizing like, oh, working with people is actually beneficial. Having a team is going to put less work on me, or like having these people around, Again, like I talk about cheerleading, I'm like, oh, like I wanted to be a flyer on my first competitive team, but like I had never been competitive on a competitive, I competed, but not, I did high school competition, not competitions, my very first competition team, like there was no fucking way I was going to be a flyer. But at the same time, if someone had said, okay, well, you can take that position, I wouldn't have wanted it, because I wouldn't have been as good as her. I don't want to be on a team that sucks. I don't want to hang around people that don't want to do better or don't want better for their friends or their people around. Like, there are literally people, and my family included, that would rather watch you suffer than watch you be better than them. People that say they love you, people that say that they're your friend, they want to watch you suffer if it means that they can do better than you. Sometimes they won't even get anything out of it. It just won't make you as good, right? Like they're like, oh, well. This is actually why I titled this, because this is a story my mom told me when I was young, and it stuck with me my whole life. But she told me about how like there were these girls, this like really pretty girl, I guess, in school that like one of the guys liked that all the other girls liked, and other girls knew that this guy liked her too, but they didn't want her to date him. So they literally, and this is why it traumatized me, because the stories my mom would tell me about school when she was growing up, like the violence and shit that was just happening in that range, like family violence, all that stuff, it was like normal. She told me that they literally cut her face in the bathroom because she was pretty and they didn't want her to be pretty anymore. And her face was fucked up for the rest of her life. I mean, I don't know, obviously, for the rest of her life, like my mom said, for at least the rest of the school, right? And this girl was an innocent person who maybe didn't even know the guy liked her back, is the crazy thing, right? And I'm the type of person, the moment you think you have a choice, you don't have one with me. Because I'm not going to let you think I'm an option. Like, if you don't meet me and immediately fall in love with me, and I don't mean like actual love, right? But like, if you're not like, oh no, I need to get to know this person more, I'm not your person. Like, that's something you should know right away. It's not something you should have to figure out from other people. And it's not something, again, and this is not to say that like people can't grow on you, but like I understand how certain connections are formed, and I understand the way the human brain and everything works. And again, I've made this reference before, even babies can identify whether or not they think someone's attractive in less than a second. So if you think that you're gonna introduce yourself to someone or meet someone and they're not gonna have like an attraction to you straight away, and then suddenly that's gonna change, you're lying to yourself. I'm not trying to be rude, because again, people marry or stay in relationships for all sorts of reasons, but as far as actual love, actual passion, all of that is concerned, you will know in your body straight away if you are interested. I'm not saying you don't want to love that person, I'm not saying you're going to marry that person, but you will know right away if you're going to be interested in that person. Maybe just as a friend, right? You don't know, but it's like, that's not something that you should have to get notes from other people, right? Like, granted, you know, if somebody says, like, you know, this person's like a fucking rapist or something, like, that's important knowledge. But, like, also, you should probably ask that person before you just accept it from other people. But that's high school brain, right? A high schooler's brain will just say, oh, you what, right? And then they just go with whatever they were told because they just can't get past themselves. So after I heard that story, and again, there were other stories like that, I was just like, nope. Like, bitches are petty, bitches are stupid, and this isn't even just girls, because, like, there was a guy in my school, he got beat up because another kid, unfortunately, died on the football field. It was really fucked up. But because another kid died on the football field, they just picked one kid to beat up from our school, another school. They just jumped him. And he was, like, the nicest guy, too. It was fucked up. And we're just like, of all the people, you picked him? Of all the people, we were all like, this is fucked up. Like, he's so innocent. It was fucked up, bro. It was fucked up. It was fucked up. What am I even doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. Let me do my You know what? I'm gonna do this one because it's almost time to stop streaming anyway, and I'm losing track of my life as I'm doing this. What a weird stream. I'm sorry. Again, trying to talk and move at the same time while also having energy. Paying attention to the spider on the ceiling. It's a little spider. It's fine. But yeah, so Leah has that in her lyrics. And it just reminds me that, unfortunately, even if you want to stay away from drama, if you identify it early, and you're like, nah, I don't want any parts of that, that's your world, you can have it, I promise you, I'm not trying to take it from you, I don't want it, because again, there's just certain situations you can tell straight away if it's a good idea or not, hopefully. And it's like, if you don't even know what you're missing, just don't miss it, or don't even worry about it, because like, again, you don't know what you're missing, then you have nothing to miss. I'd rather never know than find out that shit was not a good idea. Like, literally, take your circus and go! Clown conductor. People are, they create their own circuses. And like, I don't know what happened with those girls. My mom didn't tell me. But she would tell me things like that all the time. And I was just like, damn, people are crazy. That's why you gotta know how to fight and have a gun. Because, man, motherfuckers will do whatever for whatever. Like, I feel like now if somebody did some shit like that, like, it would probably be definitely juvie. Cause that shit, I mean, I've taught high school since 2011, and I ain't never seen no shit like that. And I saw a dude throw a whole table at a girl one time before that shit. Woo! Damn! You ever see a fight and then realize you're the one that's supposed to be breaking it up? Cause, oh, I swear I had these kids one time. My very first year teaching by myself, and I had a, you know, I let my kids sit wherever the fuck they want. I'm not the assigned seating teacher, because like, bitches can handle their own shit, and if they can't, it's my job to teach them. Like, I'm the life skills teacher. So I let them pick their own seats, and this guy and this girl were really, really good friends. And they, you know, they were chill. I don't pay attention to these motherfuckers, right? They're kids, whether they're dating or not dating, it's none of my fucking business. I tell them about contraceptives, and I try to stay the fuck out of it. I don't want to know. And, so I didn't, you know, I'm not thinking anything of it in any direction. They were always talking or whatever. They don't, again, I'm not thinking about it. Out of nowhere, this is the first thing I see. I don't know when it started or how it happened, but out of nowhere, this motherfucker picks up like a 6-foot-long table and chucks it at this girl's head. I'm like watching this in amazement on some like WrestleMania shit, but also on some like, what am I witnessing? Because this is a man, I mean he's a kid, but you know, throwing a table at a girl and they're friends. They're supposed to be getting along. They're obviously not, you know, they're trying to process like, are they joking? But no, that's not a joke, right? So I'm thinking of like, oh my gosh, this is, and then I'm like, oh shit, this is my job. I gotta get in there. So I have to like split them up. And, I think I just grabbed him and like literally like pulled him to the principal's office physically. Cause there was like nothing else I could fucking do. And she had a fucking bump, like a fucking baseball bump on her forehead, bro. Whew. But apparently, he had just started dating a girl. And I don't know if she was in the class at this point, I can't remember. But he had just started dating a girl. And he was friends with this other girl. This is messy bitch shit now that I think about it. He was friends with this other girl that he's always talking to, like for months. And, I guess she was like flirting with him in a way that he thought was disrespecting his new girlfriend. So rather than be like, yo, that's fucked up, don't talk to me like that, or whatever, again, I don't know what happened, he fucking threw a table at her head. I was like, goddamn, bitch, you must really love her. It's only been a week. I don't know how long they were dating, but it wasn't even a month. I'm just like, okay. But he was so mad, he threw a whole table at her head. I'm like, okay, that's a little far. I love the chivalry, don't get me wrong, but physical abuse is a little much. Don't want to hug out that table, motherfucker. This is not tryouts. I don't know what you're trying to do. But yeah, those were one of those moments where I was just like, staring at it and then being like, and honestly, it was probably like a few seconds. But I definitely was like, what the fuck? And she was gonna fight him too. Like she was about to wail on him. I was like, oh, because she was mixed and he was white. Oh man, that was gonna be a bad one if I didn't jump in. He threw a whole table at her head, bruh. The craziness. Whew. I actually don't know if they were friends after that. I can't remember. But he was the sweetest kid. It was so out of, like, the thing about all of my kids, I've been really lucky in that. Even the kids that are supposedly problem kids, like one, I always tell other teachers, don't tell me shit unless it's for safety. Because I am a second-born child, and people will always try and compare me to my older sister. When we were so opposite, it was like doing damage control every time that teacher knew her. And not in like a, oh, like she told me about you type shit, but just like a, you need to recognize we are exact opposites before we even go any further, right? So because I grew up that way, I was like, nah, I don't want nobody sharing nothing about me because it's always fucking wrong. And so I'm not going to do that to my kids. So I would have kids in my class that were amazing students. I mean, come in early, smiling, helping other people, walking around, doing demos, all the shit. And then like halfway through the school year, I find out they don't go to any of their classes, they're a fucking dick. Like they fucking threw something at a teacher and the teacher's mad because they didn't get suspended type shit. And I'm just like, really? I would have never thought. But like, it's in the notes. I'm like, I'm not reading that shit. I'm not reading it. You ain't gonna read no problems. I could have a kid lightweight break into my car because he lived in the same apartment as me. And he was one of those kids on the list that, I'm not gonna lie, kind of made me nervous just because apparently he had a lot of actual like violence. And he was a lot larger than me. But Once again, no problems with this kid. Slightly broke into my car, but not damaged. Just technically, I think my car was unlocked and he just went into it and took my iPhone cord. Again, this is like a little kid. I mean, teenagers to me are little kids. So. I forgot to do the stand-up part. How many times did I forget that? Yikes. Okay, well, it's 4 o'clock now. This was not the best stream for mobility, but I did say moving on time, and I am sweaty, so if you followed that. But yeah, like I said, I don't feel tired. I don't feel sick. I don't feel discombobulated or anything. Hopefully you were able to tell that as I'm speaking. Like I said, like to have that documentation for people that want to throw me under the bus whenever they see a fucking window. But yeah, situation is currently noted for the interwebs. I'm in good spirits. Like I said, everything is good over here. Flowers are starting to bud a little bit outside. I haven't planted the seeds that I bought. I ended up actually buying way more seeds at the grocery store. They have like this bag of seeds and I was like, you know what? Fuck TikTok. But the bag of seeds I got is like this big. It was $10 and the seeds that I got on TikTok were like $7.99 and I kid you not, it's like this big. And it's flat, like envelope flat. So, yeah. Hopefully, you know what, this is looking really in trouble. Hopefully that plays. But yeah, that was Mobility Monday. Like I said, focusing on routines that have specific time stamps instead of just, a list. I am going to do Pilates on Thursday as long as everything goes according to plan. I will be doing a Pilates video and I'm going to try and have one picked out ahead of time because last Thursday I tried to do a Pilates video and I tried like 3 and they were all trash. And like 30 minutes into the stream, I was still trying to find a video. So I don't want to do that again. Try and take advantage of the full stream time. But yeah, that way I can do talking if I want and have something going so I don't have to think about what I'm doing at the same time and then end up kind of fumbling around as I stream. And I don't even really feel stretched. Like I honestly like, it's interesting when I do these Mobility Mondays. I tell you guys, like I like stretching in general. I think you should stretch before every exercise, right? That's pretty common knowledge. But my body is just like, no, you need to stay in this stretch for a lot longer. So like right now, even though I want to end stream, I can tell like this quad really wants to stretch. And I'm like, well, I can stay on stream, but like, is this boring? Because I'm literally just sitting here in my fucking rags. I'm not even in my official athlete gear. That's like the perks of being a college athlete in the early 2000s. I think now you actually get paid. And like obviously there's like scholarships and stuff if you're really good. But for the most part, and I do encourage if you have a sport or any sort of activity you can do in college that you do it because it's a totally different experience and it's so worth it. Obviously I was a cheerleader so my experience was a lot more in depth than a lot of other athletes, but all the athletes get like free everything from the school pretty much. So like you get like shoes, like 2 or 3 pairs of shoes. I mean probably more depending on what kind of team you're on. Like, sweatpants, like backpacks, duffel bags, like all that shit, right? They just give it all to you, but it's like all official gear that only athletes have. And so it's funny is it's kind of like it's like the athlete uniform. Like, you can see it, you know who they are. Like I said, celebrities in the school or whatever. But the benefit of being a cheerleader in college is that especially my freshman year, I didn't know anything about university. Obviously didn't know anything about my school because I was from Seattle. So you get invited as a cheerleader to all of the biggest, best events at the school because you're a cheerleader and you have to work, right? Your job is to like snooze with all the donors and all of that stuff and like take pictures with people that have like Coog tattoos like on their whole arm and they're just like so happy to get a picture with you, right? And so it's like that, but like I said, then you're also around like these really important alumni and like these really big donors and stuff, and so you find out about these events. Like I said, I highly recommend you go to a school that is not a commuter school. A commuter school is a school that a lot of people commute to. They don't have as much dorms, or the campus is submerged in a city, so it's harder to tell who's a student and who's just a hobo on the street. You don't have to worry about things like that when you go to a better college. But yeah, you also just kind of get a lot of cool community experiences, and we would have like these big bonfires and tailgate parties, and all the RVs would pull up for like the whole weekend. We'd have like big RV lot parties that like you could only get into if you had an RV, but as a cheerleader you have to go through and like talk to everybody and like take pictures and stuff for like hours, and then you have to go to the field house and like, you know, do the same thing there, and then you gotta go to the field and do that, and then you gotta do stuff after. So like the bonfire and the parades and stuff would happen the day before, and these are things like I literally would never know about because I was new, and like nobody I knew in my area knew what those things were unless they were also athletes. And being an athlete in the uni, at least my uni, is like very, like I think I said, it's like very like, I wouldn't say cliquey because it's kind of like forced, like you don't really have a choice, but they were like, you're gonna take these, you're gonna be in these set cohorts or whatever, you know, like athlete mostly classes and stuff like that. But because I had a boyfriend at the time, I wanted to live close to him, and his dorm was on the other side of campus where the athletes weren't. And so I literally had to like fight to get into a different dorm, and ended up getting the top floor corner fucking suite. It was fucking awesome. And yeah, there's just so many really cool community things at more involved universities. I don't know how I got on this subject actually.
I think I was talking about sweatpants.
How did I get on this subject? I've been so good.
I miss my athlete sweatpants, bruh. I want my athlete sweatpants back.
I actually gave my dad a bunch of my cheer stuff because he never actually saw me cheer except for came to the Apple Cup because it was the Apple Cup. Okay. In Seattle, and we fucking won. Eat a dick. Never mind, you didn't go to college. Anyway. Yeah, so that's that. I'm not trying to talk shit. I don't want to put that kind of energy out there. Something must be channeling right now. Let me not say anything negative. I don't wish anything bad on anyone, let me just say that. There's just certain people that once you've revealed who you are, I'll believe you the first goddamn time, right? Unfortunately, with parents and family members, you don't always have that choice. But when you do get the choice, fucking make it, right? And if you don't know how to make that choice, I'll make it